Introduction of Work Rules. Book Summary. Imagine stepping into a workplace where freedom feels as natural as breathing and every idea has the power to change the world. In this video, you'll discover the hidden secrets behind an office culture that turned a tech company into the ultimate dream job. You'll learn how simple rules and bold experiments create more trust, boost creativity, and even help you lead better. Whether you're running a team or just trying to get more out of your day, find out what really makes a team click, why feedback can be your superpower, and how small changes can spark huge breakthroughs in any setting. Stick around to see how these lessons can transform the way you live and work. Listen till the end of the book summary. This video, including its audio and script, is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or piracy is strictly prohibited and may result in legal action. Welcome to Corporate Culture English Book Summary, Episode 5. In this episode, we'll explore 2015 published book Work Rules, written by Laszlo Bock. The full title of the book is Work Rules: Insights from Inside Google that will transform how you live and lead. Chapter 1 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Inside Google's culture. Ever wonder why Google feels so different? It's not just the cool perks or the fun office games, it's the big mission. It's being open, it's giving everyone a say. Google's mission is simple but powerful. It is to organize the world's information and make it useful to everyone. This purpose goes beyond making money. It gives real meaning to daily work. It does not end when you beat a rival. Instead, it keeps people hungry to explore new ideas and solve tough problems. At Google, transparency fuels trust. A new engineer can look at code, launch plans, or even someone else's weekly report. Every week, the CEO shares updates on what the team has done. Then they open the floor for 30 minutes of questions. This way, no one wastes time doing the same thing. It also shows who to find when you have a question. The third secret is giving every voice a chance to be heard. Google values ideas from all employees. In fact, many of its best practices come from staff suggestions. In 2009, Google started a program called Bureaucracy Busters. It let people point out their biggest frustrations. Then they worked together to fix them. This shows how much Google trusts its people. These three rules, mission, transparency, and voice, do more than build a fun place. They create a culture where ideas move fast and everyone can drive change. They make work feel meaningful. They help teams solve problems quickly. They turn each person into a leader. Imagine what your team could do when you bring in these simple ideas in action. Chapter 2 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Beyond Degrees. Curious how Google builds its dream team? It does not just look at degrees, it looks at training and skill. Google has a simple idea: hire the best or train the average. Most companies spend $600 on training and $450 on hiring. Google thinks that is backwards. If you hire a top candidate, the worst case is they are only okay. But if you train a weak hire, they might be even worse. So Google spends huge time and money on hiring. Each year, only 5,000 people join Google. They get 1 to 3 million resumes. That is just a 0.25% admission rate. Harvard University accepts 6.1%. That shows how picky Google is. In the early days, Google chose Ivy League graduates. But it learned a lesson. The best people are not always from top schools. They are the ones who bounce back. They beat challenges. They make everyone better. So Google looks for traits like grit and teamwork. It hires people who are smarter than their bosses. These hires lift the whole team. The Google hiring process is slow and careful. Each person faces many interviews. Each resume goes through strict review. They aim to find the real stars. A good example is Karen May. She ran her own HR firm. Google tried to hire her for 4 years. She kept saying no, but they saw her value. They stayed in touch. Finally, she agreed. Today, she is Vice President of People Development. That shows what happens when you chase the right talent. This is how Google finds its people. It does not settle. It hunts for the best. So in your own team, think the same way. Add extra care to each hire, and you can build your own dream team. Chapter 3 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Data drives decisions. Ever wondered what happens when people really take charge? At Google, they do just that. Instead of bosses calling all the shots, employees shape their own work. Managers still guide projects, but they do not own every choice. Google cut down its hierarchy to just 4 levels. You start as an individual contributor. Then you can become a manager. Next comes director. Finally, there is vice president. Even top leaders get the same tools and budgets as new hires. This lets everyone act on fresh ideas fast. If you want a VP title, you must first lead by example. You show you can guide projects and teams. Then you earn the role. But who makes the final call? Google says don't go by opinion, go by data. When facts drive decisions, choices are fair and clear. Data also clears up tricky topics. Take promotions. Rumors swirled that working at Google's HQ meant faster moves up. The VP in charge of people dug into the numbers. Her report showed promotion rates at HQ matched every other office. Everyone could see the proof. That stopped the gossip. This approach hands power back to staff. You own your role, you use numbers to back your ideas. You join open talks on big moves. Even if you lose a vote, you know why. You trust the process, you trust the data. Imagine your team trying this. Fewer approval steps. Open access to project plans. Decisions made with clear facts. Arguments fade. Fairness rises. Ideas flow freely. When people run the show with data at their side, the best ideas win. And that makes the whole team stronger. Chapter 4 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Tales of Talent. Ever thought about your best and worst workers? They both hold big chances for growth. Most companies ignore this. They fire the low performers. They barely notice the top stars. Google takes a different path. They put their top workers under a close watch. They learn from them. An internal team called PyLab, or People in Innovation Lab, studies the best. PyLab created Project Oxygen. It showed why great managers boost engineer output. Engineers with top managers did 5 to 18% better than those with weaker leads. That's a huge gap. Google then takes the best manager traits and teaches them to others. This lifts the middle of the performance curve. It gives average managers a clear learning path. But Google does not stop there. They spot the bottom 5% of workers too. They ask why these employees struggle. Maybe they lack skills or face personal issues. Google offers training or moves them into roles that fit their strengths. This gives a second chance. It respects the person and protects the team's overall health. Harvard professor Boris Kreuzberg showed that high performance depends on context. You cannot copy what worked at another company. You must study your own people. Google's PyLab makes this possible. They gather data on top and bottom performers. They look for patterns. Then they turn those insights into action. Imagine doing this in your own team. Study your top people. Learn what they do right. Train your managers to use those skills. Find out why some workers struggle. Support them with training or a new role. You build a stronger, smarter team. You turn both tails of the performance curve into engines for success. Chapter 5 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Internal Experts. Ever wondered why most training programs fail? Companies spent $156.2 billion on training in 2011 alone. Yet much of that money goes to waste. Training is run by the wrong people. It is too general. It does not track what sticks. Anders Ericsson shows that true mastery comes from breaking skills into small tasks. You repeat one task. You get feedback. You correct mistakes. You repeat again. This focused practice beats endless hours without clear goals. McKinsey uses this method well. All second-year consultants join an engagement leadership workshop. First, they learn basic principles. Next, they role-play tough client scenarios. They watch videos of their own work. They discuss what went right and wrong. They repeat until they hit the standard. It costs time and money, but every consultant leaves ready to handle angry clients with skill. Your best trainers are already inside your company. When Google needs to train sales representatives, it picks the top sales manager. That manager shares tactics. They show real examples. This saves cash and builds trust. Who better to teach a Googler than another Googler? Imagine your team doing the same. Find your internal stars. Ask them to teach smaller groups. Build training around clear tasks. Give fast feedback. Track how people improve. Use data to guide decisions. Stop pouring money into generic programs. Use your own experts to lift everyone's game. Your company will learn faster. Your people will grow stronger. Chapter 6 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Rewarding Failure. Ever wondered why sometimes top Googlers get huge stock awards even after a project flops? At Google, pay can look unfair. One coder may get $10,000 in stocks. Another may get $1 million. Bill Gates once said a fantastic coder is worth 10,000 times more than an average coder. Google shares this mindset. Most firms cap pay differences to about 20%. This forces top stars to look elsewhere. Most companies keep pay within 20% for each position. This tries to be fair, but it can push stars to leave. Google learned this too, so they let top talent earn more. Google also tried a big cash plan. In 2004, they set up the Founders Award for Performance. That year, 2 teams shared $12 million. Next year, 11 teams split $45 million. You would think people loved this. They did not. Surveys showed the awards made some employees chase cash over big work. They looked for easier ways to win awards. Teams felt the process was impersonal. They wanted shared moments, not piles of money. Google saw its mistake. They swapped cash for experience. They gave dinners for 2. They sent teams to Hawaii. They gave special project trips. These moments built memories. Teams felt closer. Then came Google Wave in 2009. A team spent 2 years on it. They gave up bonuses. They agreed to get more stocks if Wave succeeded. Wave failed. Many would expect no rewards, but Google still paid them. They did this on purpose. Google believes innovation needs risk. Teams should not fear failure. Rewards for trying drive new ideas, even if a project falls short. This is why Google pays people in surprising ways. This approach shows how daring moves and a touch of fun can shape a bold culture. Chapter 7 of Work Rules. Book Summary. Facing the Dark Side. Ever thought what happens when open culture fails? At Google, transparency and voice are vital, but they can backfire. Each year, Google has one big leak. When this happens, they investigate. They find the person who leaked. They fire them. Then they tell the whole company what was leaked. They explain the outcome. The cost of a leak is small. It is small compared to the value of openness. Google's Open Office also produces too many ideas. Between 2006 and 2009, they launched more than 250 products. Then they shut many down. CEO Larry Page calls this the spring clean. He ends products that fade or lose market fit. He drops services outperformed by others. By being open about each decision, Google keeps the team focused. Managers stay on board. They know exactly why changes happen. Perks can also turn sour. Google is famous for its benefits. At first, everyone loves free food and fun zones. But after a while, some people get spoiled. One worker got mad when the cafeteria switched to smaller plates. He threw forks in the trash. Others even threw food at the staff. When Google added Meatless Monday for health, one person threatened to quit. They said they would move to Facebook or Microsoft. Google fixed it by sharing the survey that caught the threat. Everyone saw the message. People felt embarrassed. The bad behavior stopped fast. Google did not hide the problem. They used openness and clear rules to heal it. They faced the dark side of their culture head-on. This shows that even the boldest culture needs firm boundaries. It also shows that when issues arise, honest action and transparency keep a team strong. Conclusion of Work Rules. Book Summary. Key takeaways. You learned how Google made its mission the heart of work. You saw how a clear mission brings more passion than free perks. You saw that sharing info and letting people speak up keeps everyone on the same page. You saw why Google hires top talent and looks for grit over fancy degrees. You saw how data drives big calls. No boss whispers decide promotions or projects. Data does. You saw how studying both top and low performers helps you spread good habits and lift up those who struggle. You saw that the best trainers are people next to you. You learned that giving simple, fun rewards builds strong teams more than cash. You saw why Google cheers on ideas that fall short and still rewards the effort. And you saw how they tackle leaks, perks gone wrong, and too many ideas with openness and clear rules. Use these lessons. Build a purpose that matters. Let data guide you. Hire and reward the right way. Treat each flop as a chance to learn. And watch your own team become a place people dream of joining. Listen the other book summary. Disclaimer, please check the description. Any digital copy of this content that is shared through piracy or downloaded without permission or uploaded on any online social media platform will be considered a clear violation of copyright law. Piracy is a serious offense and strict legal action will be taken against it. Additionally, copyright infringement may result in a strike against your YouTube channel or page, and it could even be deleted. Therefore, please do not engage in piracy or support it. This content has been created based on the references from the mentioned book. However, it may contain some unintentional errors or inconsistencies due to human or mechanical mistakes. If you notice any mistakes or inconsistencies, please accept our apologies and inform us through a comment or message. If you enjoy this book summary and wish to gain complete knowledge of the book, then please consider purchasing the book from an online or offline bookstore and reading it. Thank you.